Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Nicole giving you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on what time you are watching this live. Hello, Chris Crew. Hope all is well. This is the WTF Weekly. And 2024 is kicking off on some crazy ish. I must say. I must say. Who is in the building? We got Teef, we got Nene. Hello, hello. All right, see, look, y'all ready for it. Y'all ready for it. So, oh gosh, when I tell you just getting this presentation together, I was just utterly annoyed. But we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. So let's get started. Let's get started with the WTF Weekly. So first things first, we're gonna talk about Jackson, Mississippi. Okay. I heard about it. I didn't think it was real. And then Nene and others were asking me about it. And I wanted to wait to try to see if there was going to be more information as to what was going on. But honestly, it hasn't been that much information. It's been kind of hush hush. And a lot of people aren't really talking about it as much as I thought they would and should talk about this. So, damn it, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about what is going on in Jackson, Mississippi. 215 bodies were found outside of Jackson, Mississippi. And if you see that picture, this is apparently how they were found, with like a metal pole and just a number. Okay. So this is what is going on, just based on the knowledge that I have. This all kicked off with a mother, and the mother's name is Dexter Wade. Okay. I mean, the mother, her son's name was Dexter Wade. All right. And in March 2023, apparently a police officer fatally hit him. All right. And she was filing missing persons reports with, the police department. They weren't responding. Now, I don't know how they eventually found out, but apparently they found out that Dexter was buried in this section with so many other bodies. He was buried there. And the crazy part about it is they said that his actual wallet with his ID and everything was in his pocket. So technically, they knew who he was. Not even technically, hell, they knew who he was. They identified him, but they claimed they just reached out, I don't know how many times, but they never got a response. And then they just decided to dispose of him, because I'd be damned if they really try to say a proper burial, disposed of him. And the mother didn't even know. Okay. The mother literally was filing missing person reports like, where is my child? All right. And because of her being very proactive on trying to find out where her child was, they ended up finding out where he was and discovered the rest of these bodies. Now, at first, you guys already know probably where my thought process was going. I was like, it's nothing but my Black people back there. I just knew it. I was like, it's nothing but my own back there. But no, apparently it is a mixture, which is why they said they do not think this is race related. The problem also is that there was no embalming involved. There was none of that involved. They just dumped these people in a shallow grave back there, so much so that they said there was a severe stench back there. And so this is where I'm like, first of all, this is insane that no one is really talking about this. Second, how in the hell didn't people pick up on this stench? And people didn't realize or figure out that that was the smell of fumes from people who are unalive. Apparently, those fumes are very recognizable. Like, that's something that you cannot get out of, like, your, like, those smells. The fact that no one said anything, there's a lot of freaking questions at this point that I feel like they need to hurry up and answer quickly. And this is not, in my opinion, big time national news. Like, to me, this is something that should be literally all over the place right now. You know what I mean? Like, this should be all over the place right now, but it really isn't. I don't know that many people talking about it. And you guys let me know in the comment section if you know a lot of people talking about this, because it's kind of hush hush and it's pissing me off, because all of these people who are buried back there, their families didn't know what happened to their family members. They just thought they went missing. They didn't know any information. 215? Like, I'm flabbergasted that no one is talking about this as much as they should. So one of the things that came to my mind was, and for those who know, I said, are all of their organs still in their bodies? And for those who know where I'm going with that. That was one of the first things I thought about. Are all of their organs in their bodies? Are they still intact? Which I hope they're going to investigate that. Now, they claim there was no embalming involved, but I'm just like, I would like to know if all of their organs are intact. The fact, who was actually burying these bodies back there? Who was actually doing it? And the fact that Dexter Wade was actually unalive by a police officer hitting him and they just buried him back there, it seems like this is a straight up undercover situation that is deep as hell. Now, Jackson is already in some shit already with the water situation. Then you have this on top of that. And at this point, I would look. I don't know how the systems work when it comes to water, whatever case may be. But now that I'm looking at this, I'm like, they sure that these bodies that haven't been properly buried, are they sure that that may not have affected the water dam system? Maybe, possibly. All of those bodies back there, and they haven't properly been taken care of, and the smells and stuff, y'all sure that's not possibly affecting the water system? So Jackson, Mississippi, or the outskirts of Jackson, Mississippi, is in some major shit right now. And I don't know why the people are not talking about it. I don't know if they're trying to do a silent investigation on it, but what I do know is every freaking person now, what's the guy's name? They call him like the civil rights attorney. To me, he's like the new Al Sharpton. Ben Crump, he's on this, like, he's on top of this. Like, his name is all over these articles. So my whole thing is, why hasn't there been more outrage and constant updates on this situation? And I'm wondering if, hey Aspen, I'm wondering if it has to do with the fact that Jackson is such a small city. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if this happened in more of a major city, there will be more of a buzz about it. Or the powers that be are possibly covering this up. But I'm very disturbed by this. I'm very disturbed. Mind you, they just discovered these bodies not too long ago. Dexter Wade was unalive back in March of 2023. So almost a year ago. And he pretty much had to be found for the rest of these people to be found. Now, from my understanding, I think they said some of them were prisoners, apparently. Some of that, like, it's this, when I tell you, I want to thoroughly know what the hell happened. But my vibe and my instincts are telling me we're not going to probably know to the full extent of what happened. I think there's going to be some high level secrecy going on. High level secrecy. because you can't tell me that people involved are people who are supposed to be servicing and helping the public. So at this point, I don't think we're going to really know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think we're really going to know all the details on what happened and who did it and what happened? And furthermore, the fact that I think the mayor, I saw a quote that the mayor said that there was like no, that was a huge mistake, but there was no ill intentions or something like that when it came to the mayor. What did he say? Let me see if I can find it. I was just like, really, mayor? Like, okay, so Mr. Crump, the Jackson mayor did say there were mistakes. He also just said that Dexter Wade's unalive situation was a tragic accident. How the hell is it an accident when once the accident occurs, all you do is just bury him somewhere with a freaking number in a metal pole? He said there were no malicious intents in failing to notify the family. Really? Really? And then literally said, they said that they know that the police department has new notification procedures right now. Yo, like literally a tragic accident. A tragic accident means you're going to notify the family, and the family is going to understand what's going on, and they give that family member a proper burial. How is this like all of this is malicious? All of this is malicious. There was no malicious intent in notifying the family. You had his identification in his wallet. It was in his wallet, in his front pocket, apparently. In his front pocket. So you missed me with that. And here's a picture of three of the ladies. Dexter Wade's mom is the one on the far left. She's the one on the far left, the far right, the shorter black lady. She's the one on the far right. This is insane. This is insane. Yeah, absolutely. That, I mean, clearly they've been covering up for this long. 215 bodies don't happen within a couple of months. So how long has this really been going on? How long has some of these people been missing? Exactly. Can't be no mistake. 215. Did you see that Dexter's mother was suing the police department because they unalived her brother? So she got another situation with her brother on top of her son. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, something ain't clean in this situation. Something ain't clean in this situation. And you know what's so crazy? This is one story that I really want the details on. Because this type of stuff bothers me. It really does. It really bothers me. So literally at this point, I hope that Crump and the rest of them who's going to be involved in this make sure that it's not held a secret, and every information, all the details they possibly can get, they put it out there. They put it out there. Yeah, you definitely have to read up on it. It's quite disturbing. It's quite disturbing. And the problem is you don't see a lot of people talking about it, which, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, we could talk about the gossip, we could talk about the celebrities, but we definitely, this is to me, this should be like number one, numero uno hot topic. Like, seriously. Like, this is giving me vibes of like, damn, are we back in the 50s and 60s? We in the Jim Crow era? Like, what the hell is going on? So yeah, so this is what's going on. This came out, I want to say about 3 weeks ago. When I was looking up, there wasn't that many updates on it. So again, I don't know what's happening. I'll tell you this much though. I would be very disturbed if we don't hear anything within the next couple of months. I would be very disturbed. And honestly, when they notify all of these family members, or they're able to reach out to all of these family members, I think it's about to be a huge class action lawsuit against Jackson, hell, against the state of Mississippi. And no shade, I don't know if they can afford that type of lawsuit. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. It's not like they're considered one of the most like richest or wealthiest states out there. This could completely bankrupt Mississippi. Cause I don't see how when you get Ben Crump, like an attorney like Ben Crump involved, oh, it's about to be a class action lawsuit. It's about to be a major lawsuit. So with that being said, you guys, prayers to the families. This is absolutely devastating. Like my heart dropped reading this stuff because I was just like, this is not normal. Like, and the fact that again, people aren't really talking about it. We're living in scary times where this is not considered a hot topic. Like, we're living in scary times. You know what I mean? Where you find all of these bodies all at once and no one is really talking about this and really wanting to continue to investigate this. I really haven't seen some of the top people from what I've seen, and you guys can correct me. I haven't seen a lot of the top people really talk about this story, and that's scary. That's scary. Mississippi needs to be bankrupt. They still have Mammy the girl. When I tell you, I think this is gonna be. They already got a water problem. So with this happening, I child, this is not a good time to be in Jackson, Mississippi. I'll tell you that much. And probably not a good time to be in Mississippi, period. But with that being said, prayers to the family. Let's move on. Taraji. So Taraji has now come back out and is really trying to do damage control with what she said and how she got emotional and how she was dropping F-bombs all over the place in regards to the fact that she is not getting the pay that she deserves in Hollywood. So next thing I know, I started seeing people, saying that she kind of coming at fans or coming at people for not really supporting the movie. And I was like, oh no, the hell she not. Nope, not her. So I was like, let me see what the hell is going on here. So pretty much Taraji did an interview in regards to Color Purple, and I guess among some other things that she was talking about. And at that point, she pretty much was saying, and what I'm trying to do it in my best Taraji voice. And what you not gonna do is pit two black women together. Not on my watch. So that's what she said. And then she said, I hope they can focus back onto this film because right now, to me, it feels like what I said is now becoming louder than this beautiful film. You think? What the hell did you think was gonna happen when you said something like that? Hey, Yuli girl, when you said something like that during the press run of the movie, and you started crying and you started dropping F-bombs, what the hell did you think was gonna happen, Taraji? Then she says, and that's not fair to me or anybody in the film, Henson continued, because the film deals with women who are oppressed, who live in an oppressed system. We'll let you tell it, you're oppressed. So you are talking about this film is about women who are oppressed, but you're crying saying that you're oppressed and you're acting like you see her damn self crying, talking about they need to pay you. And then she says all the characters in that film except for the white people. So that movie is about healing. The movie is about sisterhood. Baby, it's too late. It's too late. Now, here's the problem in this situation. Do I feel that what she said could have hindered the movie? Yes. But do I also feel that in this day and age, movies in general, unless it's certain movies, the movie like theaters right now are just, they're not popping. But musicals on top of that and a remake that no one asked for, it could have been a mixture of all of that. It really could have. It really could have been a mixture of all of that. But the reality is, Taraji, you did it. You did it. You can't backpedal now. It's too late. And to me, the fact that she's saying what she said became louder than the film, what the hell did you expect crying the way that you was crying? Hey, Joseph, what did you expect in this situation? So I'm just like, shut the hell up. And so allegedly, they're saying now that she's possibly been blackballed from the industry. Would I be shocked? No. I mean, we see what happened with Monique, but I just don't understand where Taraji thought saying what she said and allowing her emotions, I guess, to get the best of her. I don't know why she didn't understand that saying what she said was going to cause a domino effect of people actually posting it. And of course, you know, Monique of all people was going to say something. So for me, it's just like, what the hell do you want at this point? What do you want at this point? Because at this point, it's over. The Color Purple is over. From my understanding, I can stream it now. Apparently, I can stream it. It apparently bombed so badly, you can now stream it. You can literally rent it on freaking the streaming sites and actually watch it that way. She didn't get nominated for an Oscar. Danielle Brooks got nominated. Now, of course, compared to the other movies that came out this year, you know, I'm glad she got nominated. Is she going to win it? Probably not. Because she's going up against some big movies that were blockbuster movies this year. But I'm just like, Taraji, shut the hell up. Like, and then the fact that you want to get a little attitude, like, and what we not going to do is pit two black women together. Huh? Really? And like I told you guys, I really don't think Oprah really was hands-on on this film. I think she was just the face and the name attached to it, but she really wasn't the in and out producer on set and stuff like that. I really don't think that was the case. But at the same time, there's a time and place for everything. So the fact that she did that, it's like, I think at this point, someone told her, you need to try to fix this and do damage control. But I think it's too late. I really think it's too late at this point. Let me see what you guys are saying. Girl, you out of all people should know timing is everything. You trying to follow the exposed trend. Exactly. Timing is everything. And here's the thing. I am not saying, and you guys know I've constantly said this, I'm not saying that she's not underpaid. I'm not saying that. Compared to her white counterparts, I am sure just like the rest of our black actors and actresses, they are underpaid. But if someone asks you a question like Gail did, saying, well, I heard you have the audacity to think about quitting acting. Is that true? You don't take that moment to do the monologue and start crying and dropping F-bombs. You pretty much say, you know, there are some things I've thought about it, but at the same time, I want to focus on this amazing movie because of X, Y, and Z. No, she stood 10 toes down on what the hell she said. She even had that other interview that I showed you guys where she was saying that she almost wasn't going to take The Color Purple. And she was like, yes. Who in the audience said what? Yes. I wasn't about to actually take the role of The Color Purple. You said all of that just to now say, I feel like what I said was louder than this beautiful film. Well, you loud as hell. You are loud. So I don't understand where you're going to say that. You're going to stand 10 toes down on what you said. See, this is why I can respect the Monique. I don't agree with Monique sometimes, but when she stand 10 toes down, she stand 10 toes down. She said what the hell she said, and it is what it is. So I'm just like, at this point, like, what? And then you got the nerve to say that, oh, it's because, now you feel like you want people to focus on this beautiful film. Well, you should have thought about that before you started crying. Taraji knows what she was doing because she has been in this. She's been in this business for damn near 30 years. Child, Taraji next leading role would be a Tubi flick. She's gonna have a hard time recovering from that. You know what? Here's the thing, though. If she was business savvy, I don't think that would be the case. Taraji has a huge fan base. Taraji, just her name alone, could really get investors to back her, and she could really start doing her own projects. I just, and that's why I say some people just don't mind and they just prefer to be employees for the rest of their lives. They don't want to be entrepreneurs and they don't want to make and create their own lanes. They just want to be able to be comfortable in the lane that was already built. And I think that's the case with Taraji. She just wants to be a high paid employee. But if she truly decided to stand 10 toes down and say, I'm gonna start doing this on my own, she has the resources. She graduated from one of the top schools when it came to fine arts. She has the resources, she has the talent, and she can easily probably get investors behind her. I just think that she just likes to be an employee. But that's my opinion. I think Taraji was right, but exactly that there is a time and place, and now exactly. That's sad when movies, as soon as they got the box office, it goes straight to streaming platforms. At least it came out, and you know what's so crazy? Exactly, but Blu-ray, and see, that's another reason why the industry has diminished as far as pay is concerned, because those DVDs and those VHSs and stuff like that used to be able to get people paid also, but now those are completely gone as well. Taraji was better off sitting back and seeing what type of numbers the film did and then come out with her grease. Exactly. But again, she let her emotions get the best of her. And now she's upset that people are more focused on that than focused on the film. Taraji said, while we're at it, let me get up on my soapbox. Exactly. And when you get up on your soapbox, especially as a Black woman, it can backfire on you. We've seen it time and time again. You know what I mean? It was bad timing. Here's my thing. It may be not necessarily bad timing, but the approach is everything. The crying, the F-bombs, the I'm standing 10 toes down, I wasn't about to take this role. All of that really did create a buzz. It really did. There's always and we even said this with Monique. It's not what you said, it's how you said it. Well, it's the same thing with Taraji. She just had tears with her, and Monique was like, you can with my peen if I had one. Because she was like, toes down, I don't care. If I had a peen, you can, what. So the film was a flop, and now it's like, girl, how you underpaid for an underperforming film? And see. Okay, let's get into this, you guys. Let's get into this. Good point. Because see, they always say, just even with the strike situations that just happened, you want to get paid more, but when the film or the TV show flops, you're not willing to share in the failure. You only want to get paid and you only focus on a success. But what about you giving some of that money back if it actually does not do well? This did not help Taraji in this situation, because if the film actually created like amazing box office performance and it like just went out the roof and literally had so many people going, she would have a way to say, see, look, this is what we can do. This is what I can do. But considering the fact that she did that and now the movie has flopped, this ain't a good look. Is not a good look. Now, here's the problem though. Has all of her stuff flopped? No. But again, the way this industry works is you're only as good as your last hit. You're only as good as your last movie or your last TV show. This is her last movie, and she just made a big fuss about getting underpaid. And now this film probably hasn't even, I don't even know if it's broke even. I don't know. I don't know the budget. Y'all look it up. What's the budget on this film? And how much has it actually done in the box office? If they willing to tell us the truth, because numbers now can be manipulated on the internet. Taraji should hire me for her. I can't even let me. Okay, I'm gonna read it. Taraji should hire me for her PR person. We would blame it on menopause and the struggles of menopause, and all would be forgiven. Well, she has, I think, a mental health organization, and I think she's talked about her mental health. So I'm sure she could, and it could be that she is going through that, but she hasn't said that yet. She's sitting up there standing 10 toes down saying people trying to pin two black women against each other and saying that people are so busy focused on her. Well, you're very animated when you talk, like me. Very animated when I talk. You're very animated. And you have what? How many 20 plus million people following you on social media? Of course, you're going to create a stink in this situation. Like, how do you not know that was going to be the case? And it would work too. And yeah, shoot. I am behind Taraji all the way, but I think she got carried away in the moment and blew up the spot for everyone. I really hope this doesn't do anything to her career. I will hope not either. Hey, May. Okay, so budget 15 million according to IMDb. That's actually kind of low. Wait a minute, the budget was 15 million. That's kind of low. If the budget was 15 million, hell, wasn't the Dreamgirls budget back in 2006 like 100 million or something like that? Wow. That is kind of low. And if that is the budget, hell yeah, it sounds like they was underpaid. 15 million the budget? Oh no. Oh no. Well, Taraji, good luck, shit. I don't know what to say at this point, but I do know you can't be coming 10 toes down talking about something now. All of a sudden, what I said is louder than a beautiful film. Well, whose fault is that? So get it together and figure out a plan to get up out of this shit, and do it quickly, because at this point, yeah, the way that you're talking, you always have to work. So I don't know what's going to be next for her. I don't know. Okay, hold on. All right, hold on. Budget for color. Okay. Thank you, Joseph. Because I'm like 15 million is low. Okay, so the budget for Color Purple was 90 to 100 million. That's typical, because I think Dreamgirls was around the same. Oh my! It only made 59.7 million. Oh damn. Whoo, they not even close to even breaking even. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. Oh man. Whoo. Child. And again, that doesn't necessarily mean that was all Taraji, because again, musicals right now, especially for a remake of a movie that was a classic. I can't necessarily say this is all Taraji. I'm sure she didn't help the situation, but sometimes that type of press can help and make people want to go see the movie. I don't know, but the problem is when she said it and how she said it, they just gonna easily, you know how it is, they gonna blame it on the black woman. You know what I'm saying? They gonna blame it on the black woman. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna need for her to not tell fans they need to focus on the film at this point and not what she said. It's a little too late for that, mama. Too late. Received positive reviews from critics and has grossed 9 million. Yeah. 15 million from Oprah and Tyler Child. Well, it's actually 100 million. Yeah. So not close to breaking even. Dang, 100 million in one trailer for everyone. When I tell you, it sounds crazy, but at the end of the day, but yeah, with that being said, good luck to Taraji. I don't know what hell else to say. And people, hit the like button on your way in. Hit the like button. Please like, share, and subscribe. Dave Chappelle and Kat. Look, since Kat dropped, Cat still is being talked about. I think he's going to be talked about for months to come. And I still feel like it's not over when it comes to Cat. I feel like Cat still is going to have more to say, especially especially with people like this. And so Dave Chappelle, which is so funny how Cat Williams has always said nothing but nice, positive things about Dave Chappelle and has protected this man. Okay, protected this man, has said nothing but nice things, especially with him walking away from that money. Now here come this dang on fool. And see, this is the time when you really see if people gonna stand 10 toes down and still support you, or you may not necessarily agree with what he said, but you can also shut the hell up and not comment. Oh, but Dave wanted to comment. So let me tell you what this man said. And I got a little bit of the quotes here. So while performing at the set at the Hollywood Improv in Los Angeles, this is pretty much what Dave was saying. What part of the game is this? He eat the ninjas. He didn't say anything about these white boys. None of these white boys function like that. Then he says, Cat is one of the best painters in the game. So why are you drawing ugly pictures of us? Stop. Hurt people, but I am a hurt person that never hurt people. And he does it all the time. Then pretty much at that point, he starts mimicking or impersonating Williams, talking about some F this one, F that one, F this one. And then he's like, but Ninja, I didn't hear anything that you did wrong. Then he said he didn't do nothing wrong. Cat didn't do nothing wrong. Cat was talking shit and ninjas did to other ninjas, but not about anything that ninjas did to him. Then he pretty much talks about his story, and he says that pretty much Chappelle says that, you know, all of the Black comedians are just trying to be in a better situation. Dave Chappelle, F your couch ninja in the worst way. And here's why. First of all, I get sick and tired of this rhetoric of because I'm Black and because you're Black, I shouldn't say anything negative about you because you're Black. F that, okay? F that. Because let's be clear, the person who really should be really held accountable and have the biggest treason on how they treat someone should be someone who looks like you. Those should be the main people who should know not to go there when it comes to their own people. And then he said, he didn't say anything about the white boys. Well, those are not his peers. When has Cat Williams ever been on the road with a white comedian? He's always been a comedian who has catered to a Black audience. He seems very pro-Black, and he's always been about the Black audience. So he wouldn't talk about white comedians if those are not his peers. And if the white comedians haven't done anything to him, why in the hell would he say anything about them? Then he tries to say that he said nothing about what these guys did to him. He actually did, Dave. He talked about Cedric stealing from him. He talked about Steve Harvey. He talked about people who literally, I'm confused on what people heard. This is why I say I can hear the same interview. You can hear the same interview. 10 people can hear the same interview, and 10 people will have different perspectives on what the hell happened. This man said in the beginning why he came on Club Shay Shay in the first place was to correct the lies that not only Cedric said, but Ricky Smiley said. So they did do something to him. They discredited him. They took his shit. And so that's why he was pissed off. So, and then the fact that he says all of us are just trying to be in a better situation. Dave Chappelle, how much money do you have now? How much money do you get for every freaking comedy special? He is talking about some of the top people in the game. He talked about Kevin Hart. He talked about Steve Harvey. He talked about freaking Cedric the Entertainer. None of these fools is hurting. So what are you talking about in a better situation? And if being in a better situation means that you have to steal from a fellow peer or you have to screw over your own that looks like you to get ahead, F that better situation. What happened to morals and integrity? I'm so sick of this. Oh, why you got to talk about the black people? Because they done did something to him, so therefore he needs to talk about it. Treason. I can't even say the damn word right now, but I think I'm saying it right now. Damn it. Need to drink some water. Shit. But yeah, it's like, come on now. Like, I hate that. Well, why you won't talk about the white folk? Why you won't talk about the white people? Why would he? Why would he? The only one that he did talk about was Gary Owens, and Gary Owens is a white comedian who's literally been in the black comedian circuit for 20 plus years. Other than that, he has no reason to talk about the white comedians. So I don't know what the hell Dave was talking about. As far as I see it, in my opinion, the way that Cat was talking about people being part of that club, you see that club that he was talking about? They are part of that same club of comedians that protect each other. Sounds like Dave is a part of that club. What y'all think about that? Because the way that he's coming at this situation, he truly is trying to make it seem like Cat is in a complete wrong. And I'm like, that man has every right to voice his opinion. You know what I'm saying? He has every right to voice his opinion, especially when he feels like he's been screwed over. So I'm just like, what the hell is going on here? I love Dave, but I was not into his Dreamer ER special. I didn't like it. Let me see what you guys are saying. I like Dave, but he was loud, very loud and wrong. Very loud and wrong. I just said that. The white community didn't talk about him. So what is he talking about? Dave could have just said, could have not said anything. Same with Marlon Wayans. This is what I'm saying. It almost seems like the hit dogs are hollering for several reasons. Either they just want their names involved because we clearly know that Cat Williams' interview is like damn near what the top interview on YouTube at this point, and they want their names to be pulled in some kind of way, or they're protecting their own. So, and to a certain extent, everything that Cat said, you kind of making yourself look kind of crazy, Dave, because all he's done is protect you, and maybe it's because you're back in that crew. Maybe that's the case. Oh, you talking about me and my impressions? Yeah, I was literally, because you know how you talk. I don't remember Dave speaking when Kevin Hart went on the Breakfast Club calling exactly. You notice that? Do you notice that Cat Williams has always catered to mostly the black audience? I don't think Cat has ever had many shows with white audiences. Exactly. He's always catered to the black audience. So why would he talk about white comedians? How does that even make sense? It's funny he said about the club, and now Dave is coming up in a heart. You see? What I just say? What I just say? See, his dogs will holler. Even if Cat Williams is saying nothing but respectful things about Dave, he said in that interview, they all are in the same circle. He's pretty much was saying they're all in the same circle. They all protect each other. That's why I'm saying, like, Dave, oh, Dave, I don't know. Because to me, you definitely, but my whole thing is this. Y'all can keep effing with Cat if you want to. I wouldn't. That man Ether is something serious. Something serious. But one thing he has always sat up there and done is always giving Dave the utmost respect and really defending him when he walked away, I guess, from that 50 million. Cat has never said anything disrespectful about Dave. So the fact that Dave came out and said what he said, man, it's a cold game, ain't it? It's a cold game. It really just shows you who can you really trust. Who can you really trust? Because he said nothing but respectful things about Dave. Nothing but. Everyone was better off not responding. Right. Exactly. Cat said, I have your perfect formula. Recipes, proof, timeline, screenshot. Oh my gosh, brother, you got to asterisk the stuff. You cannot put that stuff up there. Asterisk, asterisk. So yeah, so Cass said it was from the get everyone Woodward. When I tell you everything that he said, and they don't even realize, they do not even realize how much he brilliant he that was genius, because to a certain extent he kind of, I think, already knew people was going to come at him, and he already set that up very nicely. Like, you're going to see, and you're going to see how they protect each other. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to see how they protect each other. So yeah. So when it all boils down to it, I was just like, oh hell no. Like, hell no. And another one too, Corey Holcomb. Corey Holcomb. Corey Holcomb apparently tried to come out at one point and try to say Cat done stole the joke too. And then he tried to sit up there and say, I guess because Cat made a comment about how I think Kevin Hart has never had his career at all in LA. All of it was on the East Coast. And Corey was trying to defend Kevin, saying that he has been in LA. Now, mind you, Corey Holcomb apparently is friends with Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish. Here's the problem with that, though, Corey. You are real quick on your show to talk about this industry and talk about men wearing dresses and stuff like that. So I find it interesting that you were sitting up there trying to low key not try to diss Cat, but you still kind of were, and you were trying to protect Kevin, but you didn't want to mention that as much as you talk about people with men wearing dresses, you didn't want to mention Kevin wearing a dress because that was your friend. So this is what I'm saying. Like, you really start to see the alliances. And as much as there's people out there who claim that they want to stand on truth, when friendships are involved or money is involved, you really see who's about standing on truth and principles and morals versus who's not. And on that note, we will move on to this Mickey Ficky. Ciao. Now, y'all know I'm from out here, okay? I am from out here, all right? La La Land. Let me see what you're saying. Corey just wanted some attention. No one was talking about him. He wants smoke with Cat for some recognition. Cat shook the table with that interview. Yeah, but he didn't want smoke that much because he was kind of sneak dissing him, but then give time. I don't think Corey wants that smoke either when it comes to Cat. I don't think anybody wants that smoke when it comes to Cat. So, Chris Stokes. Now, I already did a video months back when Marcus Houston came out about how women his age have baggage. The irony of him saying that, saying women his age have baggage, when with all of this coming out, sir, who really has the baggage? Who really has the baggage? And Romeo from Immature came out and tried to say and clean it up and say, we respect these women and single women and black women and the issues of colorism and all of this stuff. And I told y'all that I felt like it was cap and BS because of the stuff that I saw because I'm from here. Well, with that being said, Chris Stokes, his ex-wife, has come out and pretty much said that all the allegations allegedly about him are freaking true. So, this is the ex-wife. Her name is Manye. She says, I married him in 2004, just days before I gave birth to my fourth child. He has faced accusations of SA that I know to be true, but parties are unwilling to come forward and confirm them. Well, apparently that is not the case, because Raz B did, and Quentin, God rest his soul, he also was honest about it. She then says, I can confirm that he committed these acts, and it begins with acknowledgement and acknowledgement what I didn't want to accept. I married a perpetrator of such crimes. Now it's time for me to liberate my spirit and open up about it. For the past 2.5 years, I've dedicated time to self-improvement, working on my mental, physical, and emotional well-being, often in solitude. At this point, my heart's desire is for every victim, including myself. She had to put in there, including herself. You see that, right? To heal and live long, healthy, productive lives. I seek justice. Bitch, please. You've been with this man for this long. You claim you knew this to be true. You had kids with this man, apparently boys at that. You knew this all this time and you're just now saying something? Oh, but I'm not supposed to say anything, or we're not supposed to say anything because you're saying you were a victim yourself. Mind you, though, you're grown, and all of the allegations, we're talking about kids, babies, preteens, and even teenagers. And you gonna sit up there all of a sudden, out of the blue, come out with this. What the hell is going on, y'all? And why now? Why now? I looked at this and I read this and I rolled my eyes because to me, it kind of gave me, in my opinion, vibes of that Drea Kelly shit. Now, Drea Kelly claims she didn't know, but everybody was side-eyeing her like, how could you not know? But at least she keeps saying she didn't know, but she was a victim herself. This lady is saying she knew, and all the allegations are true. What do y'all feel about this? I'm disgusted. I'm not even looking at her applauding her for saying something. I'm looking at her like, so you allowed all of these years. You allowed all of these years for these boys to allegedly be SA'd. You allowed it where it literally has traumatized them forever. And now you want to come out now in 2024 when these allegations have been out for damn near a decade. Like, are you kidding me? And so at this point, I don't necessarily know what Chris Stokes is going to do with this, and I really don't give a shit because my whole thing is I'm hoping this gives Raz some, vindication about, the things that he went through. Unfortunately, Quentin has passed on. But, one thing I will say is this. I never heard about that type of stuff growing up around, what I'm saying, this whole environment. I didn't hear about that. Am I shocked? No, but then again, I'm not shocked with anyone. But I always found it very interesting that Chris Stokes' boy bands were always successful. Mind you, he managed and produced several groups. But for whatever reason, the boy groups or the solo acts, even if they were one-hit wonders, they all had some type of success. Meanwhile, his girl groups all flopped. I always found that interesting, that the boys in his crew all had some type of hit. Even Quentin, who literally, I think it was Quentin or Quindon, but he was the little boy who did that song on the Romeo soundtrack, but he also had this song back in the day, It's You That's on My Mind. That was a hit back in the day. I remember that song back in the day. He even had a hit. But yo, girl groups, nothing pops off. I always found that interesting. Let me see what you guys are saying. He's a straight Chester. We all know that rhymes with, yeah. We can't say court chesters now. All of them court chesters. Let me see. They need to lock them right now with Chris. But if his statute hasn't run out, Rasby is owed an apology because people have given him hell. Yeah, to the point where he has probably had a lot of mental breakdowns. See, the thing is that I think a lot of times Raz was in his right mind, but with everything that he's been through, he probably has had moments of mental breakdowns because of everything that he's been through, because he decided to not be silent anymore. You know what I mean? So it's just like, but I was just like, at this lady, I said, are you serious? You gonna come out now? And I don't see a lot of people applauding her like, oh my God, like, no. For me especially, I'm like, you wait now to say something. And it's making me wonder what made her say something now. I'm starting to side eye that situation. What made you say something now? Did something force you to come out and say something? Curious. But with that being said, this has been going on for so long. So now at this point, her saying this, I'm wondering legally what can happen at this point. I'm curious to see what can legally happen at this point. But a lot of people have been coming out left and right about S.A. stuff lately. A lot of people. Did Cassie really pop this off? I guess she did. Because since her situation, oh baby. But again, my issue is Christian Keys and some other people. What are you doing this for? And my question is to her, what is she doing this for? Because if you doing this to get your own bag, or you doing this to sit up there and get your own, there's some type of benefit you can get from this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is my issue. Like, where are the people who are truly just like, they're tired of it and they really want to speak out? Maybe this is her. Maybe something triggered her. But I don't know. And at this point in this day and age, I don't necessarily trust people at this point and their motives for bringing this stuff out. You know, when especially, and she says she's a victim, I would like to know how she's a victim. I really want to know. I would like to know how she's a victim. We know Raz B is a victim in some kind of way. You know what I mean? We know he's a victim in some kind of way. And I'm always going to ride for people who have experienced S.A. Always. Even if I don't personally like how they move and things like that. That is one thing that I don't play with. But for her to come out, and I need to hear more of her story. But right now, it's a bitch please for me. Because I'm like, do you know how many boys have been affected possibly by this? Now you want to say something now? Man, get up out of here. Moving on. Last, but definitely not least. Tina Knowles. Yeah, Tina Knowles. Tina Knowles likes a post that shades the icon, the female GOAT of performing and entertainment, Miss Janet Jackson. Okay? So we have this mush-faced lady by the name of Let68, I guess. And she's pictured there with Tina behind her. And she pretty much says, what a joke. They add 1,000 for a 15-second meet and greet again. No front row for fans unless you want to bend over so they can continue to rake in the cash. You want Beyonce prices, have real production, just discussing. I'm not the only one. Oh, the DMs I'm getting, way to thank your fans for years of support. Then she says, and she stands 10 toes down on her ignorance and says, oh, and why do people keep trying to call out my friend Tina? She says, my friend Tina, for liking my post. People, you know what I'm saying, on here making comments, agreeing with me, but no one calls them out. No one calls them out. And let's not forget, Beyonce gives you 3 hours. Janet gives you a minimum of 1.5 hours. Well, actually, ma'am, that's not true. Janet actually does give you about 2.5 hours, and she is almost 60 years old. That's one. Two, she is the queen. She is the empress of production. Let's be clear, there would be no Beyonce without a Janet Jackson. She is constantly inspired by them. Some would even say she steals from Janet and Michael, allegedly. But let's be clear, there would be no Beyonce without Jackson. Before Janet Jackson, there was no female artist that was dancing the way she danced, literally could sit up there, sing, and rock a stage. And still to this day, Beyonce don't dance like no Janet Jackson. There hasn't been a female artist that can top Janet Jackson's iconic moves. So, Tina likes this post. All right. She likes the post. Now, maybe because she feels like, because of course she got a daughter that got these stands that are like not sane. And maybe she felt that Janet not being in her prime anymore, I guess, in her way, she wasn't going to get any backlash. But oh, baby, she got some backlash for that ass. Because anybody with common sense would know you don't come from mother. Okay? You don't come from mother. You don't come from the one who started it all. So she got a lot of people on her ass, right? A lot of people, rightfully so, because Janet Jackson is not, she don't bother nobody. She don't bother nobody. She literally has done so much in her career that at the end of the day, she don't have to prove shit to no one at this point. Okay? No one. See, Janet comes from an era where all you needed was a mic and you should be able to entertain an audience. You didn't need all the bells and whistles on the stage. She's been performing since she was 7 years old, where your talent, from your voice to your body to the mic, that in itself was the only thing that spoke to your talent, not all the extra stuff that they got to do today. So we ain't gonna even go there. So with that, she ends up not only posting, but then she ends up actually giving a video in regards to the situation. And I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it because I feel like we need to hear this. And I'm going to give my feedback on this shit. So let me play it.
The phone call that I'm trending for liking a post about ticket prices and an artist overcharging. First of all, being on the other side of that, I know better than anyone what a great production cost, and that it's expensive. And I would never criticize another artist, let alone Janet Jackson, who is the queen of production, and her family. I mean, they're the first family of music, always have been and always will be, and I love and respect them. Secondly, I stay away from negativity. If you follow me, then you know that I am not involved in the mess. So what I am guilty of is liking posts, going through when I'm in a big hurry and I don't have time to really read, and liking things because I trust that these are people that I follow. That was a big mistake. I will never do that again. So I just want you to hear it from my mouth that I would absolutely never do that.
Okay. Sorry, Tina Knowles. you've done it before. This is not the first time that Tina Knowles has actually liked shady comments. She did it even one time with Jennifer Hudson back in the day. So we're not going to pretend like you haven't been called to the carpet before for liking a shady comment. So how many times are you going to sit up there and give the same excuse that you just like stuff and you don't read it? Based on who you are and your maturity level, you should read something before you like it. In my opinion, I think she's BSing. I think she purposely likes to be shady. I don't care what she does on her social media saying she's positive. There's always an inner person. Social media don't mean that's the real you. And furthermore, brother, Janice's mic has been on. Her mic is still on. One thing I will say is that there is not one person out there who sings live the entire 2 or 3 hours while they're on there, including a Beyonce. It is impossible to do, especially if you're doing high impact dancing. They have what's called live vocals that they'll lip sync on. But as someone who's been to a lot of Janet concerts since she started concerts, the mics were on. So the reality is that I could believe her if this was the first time, but this is not the first time. She has done this multiple times, and yet she's coming back with this whole, oh, I just, because they're my friends, I just like it. Nah, homie. Nah. No backpedaling now. No backpedaling. You have done this multiple times. It's given that nice nasty vibe. The nice nasty vibe. The passive aggressive bullying vibe. That's what it's giving. And furthermore, if anybody was overcharging for tickets, didn't they say that those tickets were beyond what Janet is charging for Beyonce's tour that just ended? You know what I'm saying? Like, didn't we? Like, didn't they literally? Didn't they literally just say that she was charging thousands on top of thousands? Okay, I'm gonna have to call rank on my age on this, brother. I'm telling you, as someone who was going to her concerts probably before you were born, her mic be on. You may not think she belts, but no one ever said that Janet belts. What I'm saying is she holds a note, she knows how to sing, and she literally, especially in her prime, during Control, Rhythm Nation, Janet, the Velvet Rope Tour, when she was doing those high impact dancing performances, she had those mics on. It may not have been every single time for those 2 hours, but she does not lip sync throughout her whole entire performance. She does not do that. I can tell the difference. But see, the problem is that nowadays the technology has gotten so advanced. At this point, you really don't know who's lip syncing or who's not. But back in the day, during the Milli Vanilli days, her mic be on. Her mic be on. You know what I'm saying? Her mic be on. So you mean like Janet's first world tour was Rhythm Nation? I was there. So I've been there. I'm not saying she's a Whitney Houston, but no one is going to see Janet or Beyonce for Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston gonna stand in front of the mic and she gonna sing. You coming to see a Janet or a Beyonce for pure entertainment factor. And when it all boils down to it, Janet will always be the empress of that. She is mother when it comes to these new girls. She is. And I'm sorry, I'm not convinced that Tina did it by accident. I'm just not, especially when she's done it before. She gives me nice, nasty vibes, and people have even said it that she's not the nicest person. It is so I'm sorry, I don't believe it. And I wonder if the backlash, if she did not get the backlash, would she had even said anything? And I'm sick and tired of Black legends constantly getting disrespected. Constantly getting disrespected. The Jacksons is truly our royal family when it comes to music. And that's not just in Black households, that's in the white households, Asian households. Everybody know who the Jacksons are. We'll see where Beyonce is at almost 60 years old and see if she can sit up there and still do that. And let's be clear, Janet, in my opinion, does actual real choreography. She's not a butt shaker. She's not a booty clapper, okay? She does real choreography. Her choreography is so difficult and intricate that literally, I don't know about you, Nene, but I know back in the day when we had to record videos on VHS, you will record a Janet or a Michael video and keep rewinding it so you can try to learn the choreography because it was that difficult. You literally had to keep playing it. That's the type of moves that she do. You know what I mean? And truthfully, she don't need these big productions with horses and all of this type of stuff. She don't need that. But when it all boils down to it, who started those type of big productions? The Jacksons. And they didn't have the internet and they didn't have the high-tech technology they had today. And they still created all of that. Still created the video concept. Still created that stuff. Still were the top innovators in the game. So miss me with that. Like I was just like, and then she came back with that, and then she came with this. Of course, she had to put Beyonce into this. I'm saddened by this. Janet Jackson is an icon, and I would never question another artist. You shouldn't after your child apparently had $3,000, $4,000 seats. I took Destiny Child to see Janet when they were 15 years old. They always looked up to her, and she opened doors for Beyonce. Why would I hate on her? Because you're a hater. And because maybe you guys have this God complex because people have allowed it and feel like y'all can't say or do anything wrong. I don't know, maybe because of that. Now she's like, I know now to not be in a rush and be very careful. You should have learned that when you did it with Jennifer Hudson. Y'all, we just had an earthquake. Oh my gosh, I kid you not, we just had an earthquake. Oh my gosh, but let me continue. I'm so used to this, child, but yes. But with that being said, yeah. So when it all boils down to it, you can say all day long that you need to be careful. You know what you're doing. And then she said, especially when I have so much going on. What you got going on? You're not working. You're not working. I don't know that can. And then she says, I do know that you can see people's likes, so I would be pretty dumb to do that. Well, if you know that people can see your likes, you should also know to read something before you like it. Huh? Let me see what you guys are saying. Yes, I saw Janet in 2022 and the mic was on and she sounded just like the record and didn't miss a step. I will be seeing Janet Jackson this summer. Exactly. See, look, me and Nene like, now she don't do Janet like that. Yeah, she's not a Whitney, but no one goes there to, hear. Whitney and Mariah are vocalists. They sit there, they stand there, and they sing. You are going to see a production or a show when you're dealing with a Jackson or a Beyonce. Tina knew what she was doing. Beyonce got on the phone and told her to fix it. I'm sure. She said she got a call, but see, if I was Janet, all I would do is tweet mush face. Now, here's the thing. I know that y'all thinking I'm calling Tina mush face. I know people talk about her face all the time. No, I was talking about the freaking fan that was in front of her. And you know what's interesting? Let me back to this. This lady that's in front smiling like that, I'm calling her the mush face. Her allegedly, when I was doing my research, she's a big Janet Jackson fan. In fact, she's constantly going to Janet Jackson concerts. And apparently, she was actually really good friends or was really cool with one of Janet's like tour directors or something like that. So I don't know what happened, but she seems like a pick me bitch. And because she didn't get a pick me or she didn't get possibly what the hell she wanted in the situation, you know what I'm saying? Because she couldn't get what she wanted. She wanted to start hating on Janet, even though she's constantly going to the concerts. Now, ain't that some shit? Yes, I remember I still have VHS of me dancing. Exactly. That used to be our thing back in the day. We had to keep rewinding until we got it done. Yes, I love the choreography for If, and Janet can still hit every move. She can. She can. Now see, if I was Janet, I would have tweeted Tina Mushface and Beyonce that Hollywood picture of Beyonce in blue dress is her. Yeah. And and of course, if you guys look it up, Beyonce said something that definitely came off as shady about the Jacksons back in the day. I personally feel like that is definitely still something, that Janet kind of like just was like, you know what, I'm going to keep my cool off of her. Because she did say something shady about the Jacksons, trying to say, compared to the Knowles family, she grew up upper class or upper middle class, Black family. And her parents didn't use her to get out of a bad situation, trying to imply that the Jackson parents use their kids to get out of a bad situation. So that, I think, has always been something that people was like, damn, like, you claim to look up to them, but it seems like your mom, y'all don't know how to necessarily think before you speak. And sometimes I feel like, that's what I said, I feel like they can have these nice, nasty vibes about them. In my opinion, I don't think they're as nice as they come off. I don't think they're as nice as they come off. Yes, I just right now, like literally when you guys heard me pause for a minute, child, the house was shaking. It was straight shaking. But again, it wasn't that deep where I felt like I had to like get under a table or something. Again, it was like, oh, okay. I'm thinking it was probably like a 3 point, a 4 point, but not. Look, everybody texting me now. Everybody texting me now, but yeah. But anywho, but yeah, we're good over here, you guys. Saw Beyonce in concert last year with Destiny. Saw Beyonce in concert her last year with Destiny Child, and she definitely lip syncs because she really can't sing live. She sounds terrible and off key when she tries. Solange sings better. Now, Denise Hernandez. I used to get cussed out when I said I felt like Solange was the better artist than Beyonce. I feel like she actually writes her own songs. I feel like that she is the better artist. And people used to cuss me out because people feel like because you have the popularity, that automatically makes you more talented. Wrong. So yeah, it's like, but the reality is no one in their right mind can sing live for 3 hours straight and move around like that. Like they just can't. They can't do it. It's impossible. Now, see, that's why I can't do Cali. Low key, brother, an earthquake can happen anywhere. So we a little bit more prepared here, but earthquake can happen anywhere. I would have been thinking, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You a mess. Oh my God, really? I see too much be living somewhere with earthquakes. I would be like Fred Sanford holding my chest. Y'all a mess. It be these hater fans. And my whole thing is this, and I'm sure I'm probably gonna get comments in my comment section after this of the Beyonce fans, the Tina Knowles stands. You just a hater. What the hell ever. People can have an opinion. And just because you worship someone and you practice idolatry on someone doesn't mean that someone feels the same way. Like, it is what it is. And the reality is, I wouldn't be saying anything if it wasn't for Beyonce's mama coming at literally one of our icon legends that's been in the game since she was like 6 or 7 years old. Period. I better not see her at a concert. We're going to have a problem for real. Upper class, yeah. She said they had a Jaguar. She sure did. See, you remember what I'm talking about? She said we had a Jaguar. My parents didn't use me to get out of a bad situation. Solange is, but Beyonce just had more appeal. You trying to say more aesthetic appeal as far as looks are concerned? Nene, you saw what Jaguar said about Jaguar, right? In my opinion, does not get enough respect with what she says, which interesting enough, that Sloan Bella lady does. And I understand the Sloan Bella lady will give dates, but in my opinion, both of them be saying some of the same things. But Jaguar Wright is looked at like she's crazy, while Sloan Bella is looked at like she's, a medium and she just knows all. I find that interesting. But Jaguar Wright has been saying stuff about them, her husband, Diddy. She's been saying stuff for years on them. Years. Because she favors Tina, but that's a whole other story. What pulls my teeth? My daughter calls them fluffy Carolina fluffy. But yeah, so let me just remind folks. Who mother is. I mean, we literally, even if you grew up in the 90s, you've known Janet since the 70s. From her doing, performing with her family, to Good Times, to Fame, to Different Strokes, to her starting her solo career, and literally has had decades of number ones, hits. And even when they literally tried to come for her and still tried to blackball her over that Super Bowl situation, she's still continuing to go. She's still continuing to sell out stadiums. She's still doing it. And I'm sure if she wanted to, she could do all the productions and do it big. But what does she have to prove at this point? She is almost 60 years old. She is a mother. I think a lot of the time she is doing these concerts simply because of her fans, and she still employs people who want to dance and want to sit up there and create. Janet could sit her ass down at this point and not ever tour again. She doesn't have to. She has proven herself over and over again. So the audacity. I just don't believe Tina. I don't. The fact that, again, she's done this before. How many times are you going to say that you did not read? That you did not read something before you liked it? Meanwhile, you will write a whole dissertation and post it on your page about people saying that Beyonce looked like she's trying to be a white woman. So you can do that, but you can't read a small little comment before you like it. Man, get out of here. Get out of here. Janet's also a fashion icon. She had all the girls rocking wet and wavy hair in the nights. Wet and wavy hair, the freaking earring with the key on it. Like, truly, everybody wanted to be Janet. Everyone wanted to be Janet. We're going to call a thing a thing. Beyonce favors Tina more and was used as the meal ticket. That's why Tina rides so publicly hard for B. And it's a sad situation because I truly feel Solange is truly talented. Her album that she had with Cranes in the Sky, beautiful album. And she actually puts pen to paper. I don't know about Beyonce putting pen to paper, because we have clearly heard that too. She'll sit up there and say she wrote something, and then you see these videos and people like Neo come in saying she didn't write it. I wrote the damn song. So this is what I'm saying. Upper class family. So then, Heather, you wouldn't have been so thirsty to... Child. My brother said it. You real quick to compare upper class family, but y'all remember when Destiny Child first came out, I would have never known that they were literally teenagers, not even 18 yet. They looked very grown for their age. Meanwhile, the Jacksons did grow up poor because there was 9 kids in that house, but they grew up very conservative, and Janet didn't start her whole appeal and showing, you know what I'm saying, her body parts and all of that stuff until she truly got grown and left that house. But that family was very conservative until they had to leave their parents' house. So yeah, Cranes in the Sky was better than Lemonade. I would have to agree with that. But again, you already know they coming, brother. Nene, everybody, get the spray. Get the spray, because you know they gonna be in my comment section talking shit. And if they not gonna be in my comment section, then maybe I truly got some people. Maybe I got some people who actually agreeing with me, besides the people in this chat right now. But when it all boils down to it, you know, they act like she's God and her mother is God. No, sorry. I serve one God. I serve one God. And at the end of the day, we can all have different opinions, and it is what it is. It is what it is. Well, Solange was married. Remember, I think recently she got divorced. She was married to a guy like 12 years or more older than her, too. Mm-hmm. But I'm done. I'm done. Let me see. Beehive, I don't want no smoke. I'm allergic. Get your spray. They can buzz all they want. Can't cancel me. I don't have social media. It's crazy how you can't have an opinion. You can't have an opinion. And the sad part about it is when you have a difference of opinion, you're a hater. You're a hater. But interesting enough, I think Tina got a taste of her own medicine, and people sat up there and literally was like, "Oh, you want to play these games, Tina?" I don't think she realized how many people were still out there putting, you know what I'm saying, putting it down for Janet Jackson. Because how dare you talk about overpriced tickets when people was literally talking about they had to feel like they had to give up their spleen to get a ticket for Beyonce's concert. Yes, you know, I always wonder how a single with Selena and Janet together, I always wonder, that would have been dope, because Selena was another one who was really influenced by Janet Jack. Like, I mean, she loved Janet. She used to dress like Janet. So yeah, she definitely was another one. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is not one female artist from the 80s to now that hasn't had some type of influence by Janet Jackson. She is that girl. She has done everything at this point, and still to this day has had iconic albums and videos that no one will be able to duplicate. And on top of that, she has the numbers. Let's be clear, a lot of Janet's albums, they're diamond. They've sold 10 million plus worldwide. How many of these artists today can say that? I don't think that many. Yeah, I don't think that many. Some people just don't win a platform. They don't know how to manage themselves. Yeah, because you know that's just how it is. Teeth, you better get an EpiPen because they coming for you. Hey Wiz, how you doing? Are you new here? I don't think I've ever seen you before. If I have, my apologies, but hello. We're actually about to wrap up. I am done with my WTF weekly. Hell yeah. I can't even name a favorite Janet song because there's just too many to name. I mean, I grew up with her. I grew up with Janet Jackson. So I can't name my favorite Janet song, just like I can't name my favorite Michael Jackson song or my favorite Stevie Wonder song. They just have too many hits to name. Yes, she sold records, not singles. Diamond, okay? Diamond. All right. So, on that note, with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for coming to the WTF Weekly about this situation. You know, all the drama going on. I'm sure the way things continue to go and flow, I'm going to be able to do the WTF Weeklies weekly. All right. Because there's just a lot of drama going on. So, with that being said, I appreciate you guys for coming in. Make sure you continue to hit the like button, share, subscribe. Definitely. And even if you hit the thumbs down, because I know it's probably going to be people hitting the thumbs down, that means I still got the view. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you on my next video. Toodles.